Hey, it's Billy! For this episode, it's time once again for another movie review. And the movie for this one is the new Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. The first time Marvel talked about the Ten Rings was in the very first Iron Man movie when Tony Stark gets kidnapped by an organization called the Ten Rings. But that organization is false because the Ten Rings are actually, literally, 10 mystical rings. And then it was mentioned again in Iron Man 3 when the Mandarin is introduced, or the false Mandarin, played by some actor impersonating the true Mandarin. However, in Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, we finally get to see the real guy who is the Mandarin and what the Ten Rings are all about. Some people are still unfamiliar with who Shang-Chi is and what the Ten Rings are all about. But it finally explains it all in this movie. And I have to say, it was a pretty good movie, especially for a Marvel film that was made after the events of Endgame. Because a lot of crazy stuff went down in that one. I have to say, Marvel did a pretty decent job introducing this storyline into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And we finally get to see a new story be told. Also, the story of Shang-Chi and his father are very similar to that of Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader from Star Wars. They're like the Marvel version of Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader. There are some differences, but very similar. Plus, you know how at the end of all the Marvel movies they have those sneak peeks in the end credits and at the very end of the end credits? Well, make sure you stay tuned for the sneak peeks at the end of this movie, because one of them shows how Shang-Chi is going to be entering the storyline with all those Marvel heroes. Overall, I would have to rate this movie on a scale of 1 to 10. I give it a 7 because it did decently well and it was a pretty good story. I would recommend seeing it. Till next time, I'm Billy, and thanks for tuning in.